Thank you so much for joining us today. I promise I won't steal too much of your time. Thank you for everything that you've been doing, joining us on this episode of Empowering Voices. Um, I was actually looking you on social media, and it's everything that I do um, with our guests, a little bit of social media stalking. And I was really impressed by everything that you've been doing and by your curriculum and the fact that you met Tyra Banks. Like as somebody who grew up watching America's Next Top Model in like the tiniest city in the south of Italy since I was like 7, she's an icon. And Michael Kors, together with Michael Kors. Um, oh, the word is so small. You've been teaching a class, and you've been also. Is it at San Francisco Community College, or is it? Are you teaching now somewhere else?
First of all, I'm honored to be here and to have this opportunity to share. I'm from San Francisco and born and raised in San Francisco. And yes, I met Tyra Banks. I worked with her. We modeled together in a fashion show for Macy's. And then I was able to be a part of the casting selection of talent for her San Francisco audition. So there was an audition in San Francisco a few times, and a few of my students were on her show. And one of my students made it to the top 5. So she sent me a thank you letter, and she was really grateful for my participation. I'm a fan of Tyra. I think she's beautiful. She's super talented, and she's done a lot for a lot of people. She's given them a snapshot of the modeling industry and the business of modeling. It is a business, and it's just not all glamour. And her show was providing information and resources on how to prepare for the industry and to understand that you need more than your looks. You got to follow direction. You got to be committed. So and then yes, I teach. I have taught at San Francisco City College the business of modeling. I also am an educator right now at a high school, and I teach about performing arts. And I started my career in San Francisco at a high school that turned into a performing arts school. And I got a chance to meet the famous Deborah Allen, who was one of the producers for the TV show Fame. So my background is dancing, acting, modeling, and now I'm producing and directing.
It's really incredible. And I have so many questions. As I never thought I would have mentioned that online, but actually my my undergraduate degree is literature, music, and performing arts. So I totally see the craziness and the beauty that there is in at least from my point of view. There, I'm still a student. I'm doing my master's now. Being a student in performing arts classes, they're like incredible. Is it like the movie though? It's something that I feel like 100% people ask you. Is it like the performing arts high schools? Are those like the movie? Like on a scale from 1 to 10, how similar to High School Musical should I envision what you went through teaching there?
Yes, people are very challenged when they enter that field, that culture, because you are exposed to a lot of moving pieces. It's so much happening all at once. Performing arts, we talk about the technical side, all the things that go into the production, the lighting, the sound, the props. We're talking about the talent side, the dancers, the singers, the choreographers, the producers, directors. There's so many pieces to this puzzle, but when it comes together, it's beautiful. It's insane at times. It's crazy. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a thrill. How to rate it, I don't know. It is what it is for everyone. Everyone has a different point of view or take on it. but it is exciting. You do use the skill sets for the performing arts for everyday life. I feel personally, the world is your runway. The world is your stage. Everybody gets the opportunity to be in the spotlight. And the thing about performing arts, it's like a injection of steroids. It just gives you so much uh, energy and resources to pull from when you're working any job. Because any job that we decide to work, any school, any place we decide to move, you're going to be put in a situation where you got to make something happen. The same thing on stage. You got to give people what they want, or you have to show some kind of energy, some kind of give them a face. Maybe you don't feel like dealing with the public or dealing with people, but you give them that show face. Okay, the show must go on, life must go on, and I got to give them something. And those are some of the things I learned in high school and also in college, that I have to be ready for anything. Even though I'm not ready, I got to be ready.
Especially in college. Can we can we underline that? Especially in
Yeah.
college, improvising. That's something that I'm
That's it.
learning.
You got it. You got it.
It's great. I feel like with everything that has been going on in the world, we can sometimes we lose focus on how important it is to believe in ourselves and really to say, as you said, the world is your runway. So enjoy it, have fun, try new things, and also be confident in yourself with the feeling that comes from a place of love and acceptance. And I love my body, I love myself, and I irradiate, like I can shine as bright as I want thanks to this love. I can only imagine how intense the connection to your students in school and out of school, because I also read that you organize so many workshops um, and occasions that young people can come and learn what it takes to be a model, but also the learning also on the business side and what does the creative industry ask now. So how do you if you were to recall a moment of connection with your students and the people who you've been working with in your workshops, would you like to tell us something about one of the episodes or somebody that really challenged you or impressed you in a positive way?
These are all good questions, and once again, whenever I have a chance to share, I'm very grateful, because the fact that when I was probably about a teenager, there's been a couple times when I was a teenager, I really didn't have a desire to live, because as a teenager, you're faced with, uh, teen pressure, you're faced with your culture, you're faced with life, and you're in peer pressure. So I didn't really have a lot of confidence as a teen. I didn't think I was going to live to be, pretty much adult. I had a very challenging life. Um, if I can back up a little bit, so I'm Charleston Pierce from San Francisco, one of 14 children from two parents. So being one of 14 and having one income from my father and living in San Francisco was not, it was very, very difficult and challenging for my father back in the 70s. So my dad was a very, very committed man to family and work. He was a hardworking man. He had several jobs. And so being influenced by my father to be uh, um, to to work, to have ambitions, to be um, relevant, it, that part was good, but still emotionally, and as a young person, emotionally I was kind of lost, because I think you can have good parents and still be struggling with identity and still be struggling with how do I navigate. So at 19, I had a moment in life when I was asking the question, to myself, why am I here? Like, what is my why? What is my purpose of being on this planet? And I didn't really have the network or the platforms to get the inspiration that I do tap into today, because I think there's so much inspiration and knowledge that is here today that wasn't here, 20 something years ago, 25 years ago. So the internet, when I was growing up, wasn't there for me to connect with people like you across the world. I couldn't like have mentors or people podcasts to tap into. So it was very difficult. I was struggling, and I, really was dealing with some depression and um, some really darkness in my life. Maybe even suicide that crossed my mind as a teen. I was just really struggling, but I had great parents. So my heart goes out to any young person that's out there that's trying to figure it out, because you will hit a wall. You will deal with some darkness or some dark thoughts or depression, or it could be even suicide. But this too shall pass. I didn't know that then. I didn't know that when I was going through my, trying to find myself, trying to find my why. I didn't know that one day I was going to overcome that that challenge, and to get to a point of not knowing now that my life does matter, and if I choose life, I have the opportunity to inspire other people and help other people, which I have. But I didn't know that then. And I was very fortunate. I think one of the things that got me over the hump of trying to realize that my life could be a life that could impact other people's lives was when I did find um, uh, love from the stage, love from the spotlight. This performing arts and show business gives you a sense of love and appreciation from your fans. But when the fans and the TV cameras and the movie cameras and the cameras are stopped rolling, you still got to deal with yourself. So what I found out after 19, that I was blessed to cry out to the universe, to the divine, and ask. I look up towards the sky, like, if there's anybody there, I need some help. And I felt like help came, and I felt the connection with the Most High. People have different names for the terminology God. They have different beliefs, but I believe that there's something out there, and that something out there came to my rescue because I cried out from my heart. And from that situation, I had some type of revelation that I wasn't by myself, and that I was loved, and my life mattered. So that was a big key part of my life moving forward, to giving me some type of meaning to live. You need a purpose to live, and you need to find out something that you need to do, that you can do with your gift and talent that we all have. We all have a gift and talent. Everybody has something. We don't have the same. But when I found out I had something, now, what do I do with that something, your superpower? What do you do with your superpower? Well, you use it to help others. You use it to serve. So I had to figure that out. I had to figure it out that my life mattered, and I had to use my powers to serve. And I happened to be in the business of modeling, in the business of entertainment. So I felt like if I was going to be in entertainment, if you want to be a lawyer, or a doctor, or a firefighter, or a tech person in that business, you have to decide: am I going to use this business to make the world better, or am I going to use it for myself and be selfish and make a lot of money and just do me? So life is about balance. Life is about, yeah, self-care and mindfulness, and taking care of yourself is important. But at the end of the day, did you help somebody? Did you help somebody with your superpower? And so at 19, when I had my close encounter with the Most High, and I felt that there was a creator out there that loved me in spite of myself, my creator, who is love, doesn't matter my gender, doesn't matter my pronoun, it doesn't matter how I look, my skin color, I am love. That was huge for me. I needed that confirmation. I got that confirmation. And then I went on learning the business of entertainment, and then finding ways to create income. So I went from being a model to a actor to a director, producer, choreographer, author. It went on and on and on and on. You have to start somewhere, and it was a process. Because if you get everything at once, it might be too much for you. And if I tried to be like somebody else, I'll probably shipwreck, because you got to do you, and you got to take your time doing you, because, as they say, Rome was not built in a day. So it's about really asking the question about who you are, And if this business is for you, give it a try. And remember, I know I have had the opportunity to coach thousands and thousands, maybe 10,000s of people who have went on to be actors and producers and stylists and models, and decided to take the information I've given them to be better prepared mothers and fathers and husbands and wives. Because regardless of what you decide to go into, whether it's show business or not, you're still going to have to show up and show out as a parent, as a teacher, as a student, as a worker. You are on every time you leave your house. You're on. And learning from a coach, I think I'll answer the question. I think what got me over was the people that I had in my circle that gave me the right tools, the right information that I needed at that point in time to navigate to the next level. So it's important to have people in your surrounding, your network, that are for you, but not just for you, but that are mature enough to tell you what you need at that time. Because some people love you to death, but they're not a good influence for you. They'll have you, they'll have you going backwards instead of forward, because they're at a point that they can't help you no more. So you have to find people who are going to tell you the truth. And the truth sometimes it doesn't feel great all the time for somebody to tell you, you know what, you're eating too much, you're lazy, you're not serious. So unless you're really ready for the truth and you're ready to be committed to your goals, your dreams, it's not going to happen. And if you're ready and committed, then you're going to do the work. And the work is a lifestyle. Every day you work on yourself. Every day until you get tired and you need a break, because breaks are important too.
Absolutely. Um, people say some like something that I always hear is you meet people where they're at, which is absolutely true, and it can be heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time sometimes. So it totally resonates what you're saying, regarding some people may love you to death, but doesn't mean that they're gonna be forever in your life. It doesn't mean that they're a good influence. We're crafting our own path with all the wonderful mistakes that we make. Um, so is there, related to what you just said, some people I feel like, they're always asking you, oh, why did you choose to be a model? Why did you choose to get into this business? But I want to ask you something a little bit different. Was there a time when you wanted to quit that made you rethink, about your decision and made you keep going?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually have I got burnt out, tired, frustrated, because one of the things that models deal with every day is rejection. And as an actor, as a singer, as a dancer, you're in Hollywood or New York, you're trying out for plays, or you're going to castings, or uh, for uh, for fashion shows, or you're going to castings for print jobs, or you're going to audition for a role in a musical or a play. Majority of times, you're not going to get it. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because of your skin color or whatever. It's because the clients and the producers have the liberty of choosing who they want, and we don't know who they want, and they don't know who they want. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they want a Emma Stone, sometimes they want a Denzel Washington, but sometimes they want somebody new, fresh face. So when I didn't get what I wanted, when you don't get what you want, sometimes you want to give up, and you don't know. It's the long game, it's a journey, that if you stay in something long enough, you're going to get something. And I remember that there were some jobs I wanted, 30 years ago, that, I've been in business for 40 years. And yeah, I started when I was in high school. So there were some jobs I didn't get to 20 years later. And if I would have gave up, or if I would have said, if I would have been prepared, because one of the jobs that I got about 15 years ago was a cover of a magazine doing a workout, a fitness magazine. Now, I've been in shape my whole career, like 40 years. That means 40 years that I had to always be ready just in case I get that role. And I work out today and my body's in pretty great shape. I look pretty young for my age. One of the reasons is because I realized in show business, you got to be ready. You never know what part you're going to be playing. For my roles today are coaches, the older athlete, weekend warrior, the doctor, the police officer, the sergeant, the detective, the dad. I have to, if I want to be on screen as an actor, I finished 2 films this year. I modeled for Louis Vuitton about 2 weeks ago. I still act, I still model, because one of the things about this business, once you learn the business, you realize you can work in it for the rest of your life. You can be a director the rest of your life, producer the rest of your life, author the rest of your life. You can be a dance teacher for the rest of your life. You can be an actor and an acting coach and a model and a modeling coach. So I do all these different things because not that I'm so great, not that I'm so talented. No, what happens is if you learn the business and you pay attention and you practice, you start gaining knowledge and information. And there come times when you have opportunities to try out for a movie. There's a lot of work that came to me that I wasn't even looking for. My last big movie, a director knew me, a producer knew me and said, "Hey, Charleston, I'm doing a movie. I think you'd be great in it." That's happened to me several times. I was modeling and people would say, "Hey, I have a movie. I would love for you." If you show up every day at your job, you're at Starbucks, you look great, great customer service. You never know, especially in LA, in New York. And a producer walks in there and go, "You know what? I got a role for you. I got a role for you. I see you every day. You didn't know who I was." I was playing basketball one time in Hollywood, and a producer of a TV show called Alias, who starred Jennifer Garden starred in that movie. The director saw me play basketball. He said, "Hey, we would love for you to be in our next film." So you never know who's watching you, and if you're always prepared. If you have a dream, you have a goal, and you're working on that goal and dream. If you're a singer, you're a writer, you're a dancer, and you put in, I say, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a few hours a week on what you really love, your gift will make room for you. You will have an opportunity to showcase what you got. You never know. You're working at your job. We're doing a fundraiser, a talent show. We're doing a fashion show. We're doing somebody wants to do a film or do a commercial. And guess what? You're going to be ready. You're going to blow it up. You're going to shine, and you're going to be successful because why? Nobody knew it, but after work, you went home and you were practicing, or you were training. You were working out before you went to work. You were working out after work. You were always ready. So be ready, stay ready. And that's because that's for the people who will really have a hunger and thirst to do something great. Because greatness is in all of us, but we have to give it permission and we have to prepare for our moments in life. And it will happen. And even if it doesn't happen in Hollywood or New York, it can happen in your family. It can happen on a picnic. It can happen because you never know who you're going to meet and ask you a question. Do you know how to act? Do you know how to sing? Guess what? My friend yesterday I talked to on the phone. She was on the phone yesterday talking to me. I called her. I actually texted her first. I texted her to say, "You're too blessed to be stressed." She called me back. We were on the phone for 2 minutes and somebody ran into the back of her car, hit her car, did damage the car. Everybody was okay. She got out the car. She met the woman and the man that was in the car, and the woman was so beautiful. She goes, "Are you a model?" She goes, "No." She goes, "You should be a model. My friend that I just got off the phone with is a casting director. You should meet him." You never know who you're gonna meet. You never know who's gonna think that you are the next best thing. Whatever you want in life, decide you're gonna go for it. How you gonna get there? I don't know. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. But put time into it. In the worst scenario, if you love it, you did you have fun doing it?
Absolutely. Really, absolutely. Um, Reminds me so much of something that I heard in one of the, I think Anna Kana from LA. She said, I don't want to be my deathbed, regretting all the things that I didn't do. I want to be on my deathbed, like saying, hell yes, I did it. And if I couldn't do it, at least I tried. And the process can bring you, as you said, anywhere. So we don't really know. Maybe it doesn't take you to our final goal, to our final aim, but it does take us somewhere completely different but nice. So the universe really has everything planned out. We just have to give it a little bit of trust. You mentioned also, and I also read it, San Francisco and working in San Francisco. Do you feel connected to your community there? Do you feel like your community there is quite strong, or do you feel more connected to other cities, to other places?
Great question. I did not feel connected at all with my city growing up at all. I didn't know what really to be proud of. I think for me, when I went to Venezuela and I traveled outside of San Francisco, outside of the country, when I went to different places around the nation of the United States of America, when you go to New York, my first time in New York, I went bananas. I was lit. I was like, oh my God, coming to America. I remember, I was just like the movies I saw, the Big Apple, Runway. So I was taken by New York. I don't think I even slept. I think I might have been doing drugs all night. I don't know. It was a crazy time for me, but New York was off the chain. I had so much fun. And when you go to New York, when you go to Miami Beach, yeah, Miami Beach. When you go to, Texas, oh, Texas is big. When you go to Seattle, when you go to all these different places, you can't help but compare those places to home and the people, you go to different cities, you go, oh my God, you look like my neighbor. You like the guy down the street at the store. So I didn't appreciate San Francisco until much later in my adult life, when I was in probably my, I would say early 30s. Or late 20s, I started like going, wow, the Bay Area is off the hook. The Bay Area is amazing, because San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge, Golden Gate Park, Marin County, George Lucas lives there. I met George Lucas. Oh my God. So I started falling in love with San Francisco later in my life. I love it today. I love the city. Now, the city ain't done nobody no problems, no wrong. It's not the city, it's the people in the city. Now, I feel personally, my point of view, the people that were born in San Francisco in my time, in my generation, and before I was here, it was a very liberal city. It was a very affordable city. That city has changed. That city is gone. It's now what do they call it? A smart city. It's now a smart city, and it's way overpriced, and it's a lot of homelessness, because a lot of people lost their homes, and a lot of people went through a lot of different things, many reasons for a lot of different things. But San Francisco is still a beautiful place, especially if you have, the means to live the lifestyle here. I'm blessed. I have a home here. I'm one of the fortunate ones. I also, was born and raised here. And I try to always honor my city. I try to honor my community. My community was a very challenged community when I was growing up. I moved away to LA, pursued my life in the modeling and acting business, and I was very, very successful there. And I'm very grateful for that, because any success that you do, any goals you accomplish, and things that you don't accomplish, and jobs that you get, like say when I first started modeling, I never thought about, okay, I want to be on the cover of a magazine, or be on a billboard, or on a bus stop, or a train station, or on a trolley. I never thought about those things. I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I could do this. I don't know. I want to do it, but I didn't have no goals. And that's another thing I teach in my workshop. I teach about, what are your goals in the business? What categories are you? A print model, runway model, commercial model? Can you do it all? How far you want to go? Are you committed? What skill sets do you have? So I love my city now. I do free workshops in my city once, my community once a month. I give a free runway classes to people of all ages, because all ages, anybody, everybody is a model. And I've said that ever since I started teaching workshops. And I'll tell you why. Every day we wake up as an adult, as a teenager, you go into your bathroom, which I call your office, and you look at yourself in your mirror, and you check in. You look at yourself, you fix your face so you can go outside to the public. So what are you doing? You are modeling You fix your place, you model, you prepare yourself so you can go outside your door, outside your house for the business for your business. And I said the world is your runway, so you go out. Now a lot of people are working for from home. So what do? We fix our face for our Zoom calls. We fix our face and we fix ourselves, maybe half of our body. Sometimes we don't put any pants on. We just got the top part. I don't know. Hey, I'm just saying. But you fix your hair, you fix your face. So everybody's modeling now, and we call it lifestyle modeling. And everybody can have a job of doing a photo shoot or being in a magazine or being on a billboard, being themselves. They don't have to be a size 0, size 2. They don't have to be on the runway. They can be in a magazine. They could be on TV. It's not about your height. It's not about your shape. It's not about your size. It's that, do you have what we want today? Today we want this girl, this guy, this person. It changes all the time. And it's good because a lot of people didn't think that they were good enough or beautiful enough, but now we're seeing through advertisements and commercials online and everywhere. Wow, I see somebody I can identify with. I see somebody who looks like me. Wow, I see a Victoria's Secret model in the magazine that's a size 6. I never saw that before, size 8. So we're seeing things. We're seeing things across the board on the commercials, but some people don't pay attention. Some people do, and my job is to be relevant. So I'm always paying attention. I see the change. I see the wave. It's wide open for the people that do the work, do the homework, do the research, and find a coach. You got to have a coach. I'm going to emphasize that. You got to, if you can hire a good coach that has been successful in the industry that you want to go in, you're going to do better than a person that doesn't have that support. Because a lot of people are Instagram models, are Facebook models, or whatever models. Yeah, you might have a huge following. You might look good on your handle, on your pages, but real time in front of real clients, in front of real directing producers, you haven't been tested. You haven't been tested, and it's a whole nother level uh, of of pressure. And if you can't pop like popcorn, you're gonna have a rude awakening. So I submit to you, find you a coach in any industry, pay, because there's nothing in life free. Pay for a coach or a mentor or a trainer to help you define you and polish you and talk to you and ask you the right questions. Are you ready for real time? Are you ready for the big time? Do not go. Do not move to New York. Do not move to Europe, and do not move anywhere trying to go somewhere before you have a conversation with a professional to tell you some advice. Now, every professional coach and teacher and trainer are different. They're not me. But for me, I have been on both sides. I am on both sides. I'm on the casting side, I'm on the performing side, and I'm on the technical side. And I'm all over the place because for me, I wanted to learn everything so I could be more relevant and be more prepared and also be like say, for instance, LeBron James. I want to be able to rebound, pass the ball. I want to be able to play defense. I want to do it all. That's just me. Everybody can't be me and I can't be everybody. I'm not trying to be everybody. Everybody should be the best that they can be. I inspire people, do not try to be like others. Try to be the best you can be and say your prayers, because prayer is meditation. Prayer is giving yourself permission. Prayer is talking to the God of the universe to help you to make the right decisions for your path. You need help. I need help. Nobody makes it by themselves. Nobody. And so it's important. And that's why I hope this conversation that we're having can inspire somebody to research, find you a coach, and the right coach will come at the right time, and it will happen in the right time. And that's another thing. We have to be patient. This does not happen overnight. I didn't make it here overnight. I didn't get what I have have accomplished. I did not receive it. I did not earn it overnight. It has been a process of, should I give up? Should I keep going? I feel like giving up. Oh my God, I got a break. Oh man, it's been a roller coaster, but I'm grateful because through this roller coaster, through these ups and downs, I have learned to be able to give people my experience and also share my accomplishments that, yes, I did all these great things because I didn't give up. So if you don't give up, you might do some great things, or you might just have a lot of fun. And I have both. I have
Mhm.
fun and I've done some great things and it's been amazing. I'm so humble because I know how hard it is and I know how much rejection I went through. And I remember when I first started, I was the only Afro-American man in some fashion shows. I was the first African American man in some magazines. I was on the cover of the Billboard. I was the first one. And so for me, I take pride in being a trailblazer for people of color, Afro-Americans, period. Are, and so now I make sure that everybody's inclusive. And my productions. I produce shows. I have a show this weekend, and it's a show for an Asian designer. But I'm going to bring different nationalities and different type of people involved in the production, which I always have. Because when I look at the world, when I look through my eyes, all I see is wonderfully creative human beings that were created by the creator of the universe, and I love it. And my creator is love. And so when I see you, you're beautiful. And I have clients that love different types of people. And when people that come to my fashion shows or when you're watching TV, you go, oh my God, I see somebody who looks like me. You connect with that person. And it also tells you, if they did it, then maybe I can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Whoever's listening today, yes, you can. All things are possible.
I really want a podcast from you. Just please make it happen. I can listen to you really all day. Whoever is listening, please somebody give this man a podcast because it will be like great. I'm so happy to hear that the industry is changing, that we are all becoming more inclusive, and the
Yes.
representation, as important as it is becoming a thing. It's great to hear that. I just
Yeah, I agree
I can
with
only
you because
think.
yeah, because when I first started, it was like some people like, oh, we don't hire black models or you're too tall or you're not dark enough. You're not like I mean, I was told all kind of things. And then when they were taking my pictures and the makeup was wrong and the color was wrong, we're talking like 40 years ago. It was crazy. Now, there's support in all areas, and people have done their homework and research. And they know how to cater to all types of talent and people. But it was really, really tough and frustrating in the beginning. I was called different type of names, insults. It was, verbal abuse, and these people weren't trying to be mean. They was just that's just how it was. In the old school, people would say things, that they were comfortable saying. And so through time and chance, we've all learned how to respect each other better and to communicate better because me as a man growing up with 8 sisters, I had to learn to be sensitive to women in a way that most men were not. And for most of my career, I worked with women. So working with women is amazing because you women are teachers. They teach us so many amazing things. And so I've been blessed to be around a lot of women. And because of women, I owe them so much credit from them teaching me how to dress, teaching me about colors, teaching me how to be, masculine, teaching me to love, teaching me how to love a woman. So, every man that's out there, listen to the women, please listen. It will save you time and money and heartaches.
I really hope my boyfriend is gonna watch this interview. Just low key hope that. It must have been incredible growing up with eight sisters. I mean, it definitely is something challenging and rewarding at the same time. Everyone with so many, like, everyone with a sibling can tell you that, like, rewarding and challenging, beautiful and stressful at the same time. But it maybe that's also sparked your interest in helping others and being there for people you love when they need you.
Family is everything. And I want to ask, I have 5 brothers too. So family is everything. And I would say one of the reasons why I'm on this call is because of Nora. And Nora is an amazing woman, amazing friend, and she has this organization that she supports HIV uh, uh, individuals. And I have two brothers who have HIV. Unfortunately, one of them passed away, but they were my brothers, and no matter what uh, my brothers and sisters have been through, we are all been through a lot. I've had different siblings that live certain different type of lifestyles, been through different kind of traumas, have had some hard times, some dark times. Um, so all of us have faced many hard times and obstacles because growing up 14 children in San Francisco, at one point in time, we were living in the projects. It was very challenging. I went through a lot of abuse. I went through a lot of, I was bullied. I was, I believe it or not, I was molested. I was a lot of bad things that happened to me. And I was called, I'm in fashion, I'm in dance. Oh, you must be gay. You're gay. And I was called all kind of names. But through it all, I'm grateful that I survived the abuse. I survived being called outside of my race, outside of my name, and many different, pronouns and stuff. I survived all that. It wasn't easy. It was hard. It was sad. I mean, I got married when I was 20. My marriage didn't work out, and I thought about suicide. I actually attempted suicide. I only said that. I'm only saying that because I wanted to let people know I'm not perfect, and my life has not been easy. I'm very fortunate to be here. Like I said, I didn't want to live. I've been really, really sad and depressed. But today I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that I didn't die, that I'm alive. And then I've turned all that pain and hurt of wanting to give up on life into like now I'm helping people. I work at a high school and I get to tell kids that are in high school, don't kill yourself because they're dealing with broken relationships. They're dealing with drugs. They're dealing with, having to protect themselves with weapons. They're dealing with real stuff as a teenager. It's really hard. I go to court. These kids are carrying weapons because they're scared. They're being bullied. And I'm like, I get it. I understand. I'm here for you. I'm showing up. I'm going to feed you. Are you hungry? What do you need? That's the commitment that our school has in San Francisco. There are teachers out there. There are educators out there that care, that will give their last dime, their dollars, their food to these students because they care. There you hear all sorts of things about teachers. You hear all sorts of things about, police officers and all these. There are police officers, firefighters, there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are moms, there are dads, there's people like you, people like me. We care and we're doing the work. Nora is doing the work. There are people out there that are letting people know you're not by yourself. And so when we decide that we want more, that we want to be better, that we call out and say, help me, because sometimes you can't go to church, you can't turn to God, you can't turn to nothing, you can't even think because your mind is crushed, your spirits are crushed. But when you, in your heart of hearts, say, hey, if there's something out there, if there's somebody out there that can help me, you have that conversation with yourself. I believe that help will come. And it came through me in my darkest hour. And it comes to me today because I got to go to school today because I work every day. And I work because I choose to work because when I show up, I get a chance to help somebody. As long as I live, I want to be relevant to help alive, serve alive, because serving, I thought it was cool being an actor, being on TV with Eddie Murphy. I did a movie with Eddie Murphy. I have a starring role in this movie called Metro, and I worked with Sidney Crawford, and Tyra Banks, and Claudia Schiffer, and I played basketball with Charles Barkley and Jason Kidd and all these famous basketball players. I played basketball in the summer pro league. I thought all that stuff was great. Yeah, I did it. I played ball. I played against a professional player. I dunked on one. I did this. I did all that stuff is great. But the greatest thing I ever done is help save a life. I've had people tell me I thought about jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge, but because of you, Charleston Pierce, you gave me another day to think about what I want to do. And I did do it because of you being present in this world at this time in my life. You helped me not give up. And I've heard that so many times. And when I heard that, I kept hearing that. I'm like, Charleston Pierce, your life is relevant. You make a difference, dude. You cannot die. You got to keep living, dude. You got to keep helping people because you making a difference. And I was like, talking to myself, I'm like, really? I guess I am. All right. Okay, cool. I know. Yeah. So when I realized my life was relevant, when I realized I was helping people, man, I'm like, man, I can't die. I gotta live. But there are days that I just want to go in my bed and put covers over my head and listen to one of my sermons or my podcast or my gospel music and just call it a day. Like I'm just going to sleep right now because it's cold outside. It's mean outside. It's tough outside. It's crazy outside. The pandemic, there's police, but brutality, haterade. Man, sometimes you just want to shut it down. Some people, sometimes people just want to go get drunk. I get it. I want to smoke some grass and pot. I get it. I want to just be loved. I get it. There's so many different things we're all dealing with. All I can say is this: don't give up on your hope. Don't give up on love. Even though if you don't feel love, you don't see love, there's somebody that loves you. There's somebody that loves you. There's somebody that's praying for you. There's someone that believes in you. And I believe in you. I don't even know you out there, but I believe in you. If I believe in you, you got to know your creator believes in you. And unfortunately, all of us have to deal with the pains and struggles of life. And it's a part of what life is about. But this too will pass. There will be a better day. Your better day might be today. Your better day might be next week, but it's going to be a better day. And I'm here to tell you, I've been here long enough to know that trouble don't last always. And if you hold on to hope, and if you keep your hope alive, and you believe that good will happen, you will receive good. Somebody will give you a hug, and I'm giving you a hug right now. You don't see me, but I'm hugging you because you are relevant.
I was supposed to have therapy after this. Honestly, like basically, I'm like sobbing already. The the grace and the intensity and the love that your words have, the compassion, and that people can hear what you've been through your words, through your sentences, and through all the love that somebody who like you went through a lot. People that suffer a lot love also a lot. I also deeply believe this. We are capable of so much love as we are capable of putting each other, like trying to lift each other up. And we should remember this, how powerful we are, how powerful we can be. Your words are so inspiring. Definitely will talk to my therapist about this conversation because it's like really heartwarming. And I couldn't believe, like every time I finish an interview, I'm just like, this is the best interview. This is like one of the best interviews. And then like the next, and I cannot believe, but the next interview tops that. It's like, it's getting better and better and better. Maybe because we are building this community together. So each of us is like slowly adding a little bit of our life and experience and what we went through and all the love that we have to give. And so everyone is like adding a little bit of chunk of their experience to this marvelous thing that we've been creating for the past, that Nora has been creating for so much. Nora, Melissa, and everyone in the staff has been creating for since Until started. I'm deeply grateful. I'm also without words. I'm so speechless, which is also very rare of me. But I'm so grateful to have that our paths crossed, and I'm really looking forward to see all the wonderful things that you're gonna do in the future. I really hope our paths cross again. I will keep an eye on all the wonderful work that you've been doing, and I really hope that definitely that we keep helping each other, that we keep saving lives, that we keep inspiring people. And you changed you definitely changed me as a person with everything that you said. It's as great as it can be. You may change your student life today. The students' life today, maybe one of them asks you for advice, and maybe one of them has already come up to you asking, what would you do? Because teachers are such incredible figures I was lucky to have wonderful teachers, amazing professors, also at university that really inspired me beyond the academic world and as human beings. And as you said, sometimes a professor that says, "I believe in you, please don't give up," is really everything that you need. And when you want to give up, when you don't want to fight anymore, it takes one more time. It really takes just one more time. I'm so deeply honored to have met you, to have had this conversation. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will carry this with me like forever. And I really hope that everyone who is listening to this will also be as inspired and has touched and as moved I am now from this conversation. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Sharon, you are so welcome. Thank you for not giving up and being here and being here for your family. Like when I see you, you represent your ancestors. Yes, you represent your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, and your great grandparents. You know, they are a reflection of you, and you are representing them today. And they wanted you to be here to keep the legacy going. And I realized that, like, I'm not here just for me. I'm not here on my own. People prayed for me. People fought for me, died for me to be here. And I have to show up. And I have to show up. When I show up, I always try to show up remembering that, I have an obligation. I have a duty. When I show up and say whatever comes out from love, it's going to connect or touch who is supposed to, it's whatever I'm going to say is going to hit who it's supposed to hit or be what it's going to be for that person. And it's a great honor to be a vessel. And I'm grateful because, like I said, like if I would have killed myself when I was a teenager or after my divorce from my ex-wife, I wouldn't be here. And all the people that I've had a chance to meet and support and give them their first fashion show, their first photo shoot, their first movie, I have people that I've given opportunity to pursue your goals and dreams. And I didn't grow up knowing that I was going to be a part of that process, that journey. I never felt I was qualified. And sometimes we would do things that we're not really qualified. There's always somebody better. But the thing about it is the way life works is not about the person who's the best person all the time or who's the best looking person or who's the strongest. It's the person that shows up with a sincere desire to do something good and the sincere desire to do what they were destined to do, because I was destined to be here. You were destined to be here. And some things that you won't know until later on in the future. And you're like, how did I get here? It was part of the plan. But at the same time, we can say to ourselves, well, I don't believe in myself, or I don't want to try, or I'm not good enough, or we can just kind of talk ourselves out of having a great day or choosing the right path in careers. But what I always try to do now, I've learned this, like all the things that I'm practicing now, these are things I've learned uh, through failure, through falls, through making bad decisions. I have made bad decisions based upon not having the knowledge. You will make bad choices not knowing you had good intentions, but it wasn't the right thing to do because you didn't have the wisdom and the understanding that what you want to do was a good gesture, but it wasn't with the right person or the right job or the right situation. So trying to live this life is not easy. Trying to be an adult or to be a mom or a dad or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's not going to always be easy. There's no perfect script on how to be perfect. We are all trying to figure this out. And how you should take each day with a moment of silence to pause and say, okay, let me check in with myself and let me be thankful. Count your blessings. You are alive. You have eyes to see if you have eyes. You have ears to hear if you have ears. You have a mouth to speak. You have hands. You have legs if you have them. If you have hands and legs and feet and toes, you can make decisions. You have a bed to sleep in. You have hot water. You have a mom. You have a dad. You have support. You're blessed because there's so many people who don't have none of that. There's people in the hospital can't get out the hospital and wish they had one more day to walk, one more day to hug. and they're on their dying bed. When my brother with HIV and AIDS was dying, he didn't have the opportunity to get out that bed. He had to transition and be in that hospital for a whole month. And I wasn't the best brother to him in the beginning because I was his older brother and I just wanted to go out in the world and live my life. But he called me up and said, I want to come home and I don't know how much time I have to live. And guess what? I was able to be the brother that I wasn't to him in the beginning. I was able to love him and hug him and tell him, I love you, brother. I love you and you're good enough and you're special. And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you when you needed me, but I'm here for you right now. And if your mother's gone, your brother's gone, your father's gone, your grandmother, you weren't good to them, you weren't nice to them, or you didn't get a chance to tell them how much you love them, tell them today. Hey, grandmother. Hey, grandfather. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Whoever the person you need to tell them through your prayers, through your heart, through your mind. I love you. I appreciate you, teacher. I appreciate the teachers who made me go to school. I appreciate the people who gave me a hard time because they made me better. I appreciate the people who bullied me. Now I would never be bullied anymore. You made me stronger. The haters will make you greater. I didn't know that coming up. I wanted them all to die. But today I pray for my haters. I pray for my enemies. I love my enemies. I have boundaries. Doesn't mean because I love you, doesn't mean I want to hang out with you, because I don't want any negative energy. So I'm thankful for you, Sharon. I'm thankful for Nora. I give honor to Nora for being my friend, for being giving me this opportunity to connect with you. I give honor to my parents. I give honor to all the people who have blessed my life. I give honor to the people who cursed my life because those curses, ha ha ha, made me better. I'm a better man, and I forgive you. And I've been talked about. I've been lied on. I've been accused of all sorts of things. You know what? If you're trying to be great, people are going to have something to say about you. They're going to fabricate. They're going to make up things. They're going to say things because they didn't get what they wanted from you. If they were your real friends, they would never ever do you wrong. If they were your real friends, they would have came to you and you guys could have talked about, because somebody does something to you, they should go to you and say, hey, you did something to me. Can we talk about it? And can we forgive each other and move on? We don't have to be friends anymore. We can respect each other being humans, but maybe we're just not a good fit, you know? Like I just heard my ex girlfriend just got married. My brother told me that yesterday. I love her. She got married. I wasn't the man for her to marry. It's okay. I was a part of her journey. She's a part of my journey. I wish her all the best. I'm not going to carry no hate. If something doesn't work out, doesn't work out. It's okay. Hey, did you enjoy the time you have with that person? Did you have fun? It's all about a lesson and a blessing. Do not let nobody stop you from living your best life. Don't stay sad. It's okay to be sad for a season. Don't stay sad. Don't stay mad. Let it go, pray about it, talk to the divine, give it to the divine, give it to your creator. Say, I'm hurting, I'm in pain, I'm confused, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, have that conversation, but live your life. I'm going to be great. My life is going to be meaningful. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go on vacations. I'm going to eat good food. I'm going to eat sweet food, crazy food. I'm going to maybe pick a day to get drunk one day. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Live your life, but don't let that craziness, that fun destroy your life too, because you got to have balance. You got to have balance. I tried almost everything in this world, but now because I know better, it's about eating healthy, drinking my water, exercising, and having boundaries and letting only a few people in. I have to let some family members on the outside because sometimes the biggest letdown are the people who love you, that you love the most. It could be your family members. So be careful, have boundaries. Don't only let so many people in. They got to prove that they really, really have your best interests. And they got to prove to you that they really want to see you win. You got to have people who are going to tell you the truth, but not try to hurt you. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm just trying to speak truth. You are beautiful. You are blessed. Your life matters. You have a assignment to find a way to utilize your superpowers to make this world better before you leave here.
Absolutely. It was really a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and a thank you again. And I really have a great start of your day, and have a great class today, and have fun teaching. This
Thank you
really
so
wish
much.
you a wonderful day.
Okay, and I'm on IG, Charleston Pierce on IG, the San
Yes,
Francisco.
I'm gonna add you right now. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.